Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Palecast episode 3. We made it! We did it. Episode 3. Guy that listens to this. Um, I actually thought up a pretty awesome name for my listeners, even though I don't really have any. But if you're listening to this right now, consider yourself a new inductee into, well, I don't know how to put it. You're a Palestinian. That's the thing. I'm gonna keep going with that horrible pun that I made up when I first started putting these things on YouTube. I haven't done one of these in a while. Hope I'm still kind of good at it, as if I ever was. But basically, I'm kind of upset right now. Just yesterday, uh, my I have one of those like hard top covers that go over the bed of the truck, and somebody stole it. Unless it flew off the back while I was driving and I just didn't notice like an asshole. But I'm pretty sure that somebody stole the damn thing, and it happened while I was at work. For those of you who don't know, I do all of Don Cheadle's grocery shopping, and I was parked at work and I don't check the thing. I go in at 6 and I leave at about 2:30, and I never see the truck while it's there. And so at the end of the day, I leave and I went and I hopped in and I drove down the street to go to the GameStop down there. I needed like a headset because can we all talk about how god awful the PS4 standard headset that comes with is? I feel like the size that they make the single earbud is so large that they have to have done it on purpose. They have to have made it too big to fit in your ear comfortably just to sell aftermarket products. I don't know, it's just theory. I mean, that and the microphone can pick up if somebody sneezes like 2 rooms over if the door is shut. But that's besides the point. So I went in there to pick up a new headphone or a headset, and when I was leaving, I noticed that the truck top was gone. So I quick retraced my steps, drove back to work. It could have only been let's say 1,000 yards to get to the store from where I work. So I went back, and because I had to go and see if it was like laying on the side of the road somewhere or something, and nothing to be seen. But basically, I talked to my boss. They came out and helped me look. I love when this kind of a thing happens, when you lose something or you think that it's stolen, is everybody has to pretend like they care, but then at the same time it's so weird. Like, think about that. Think about the sheer balls that somebody would have to come up and steal like your truck cover. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing to just like fold that thing up and quick take it off of there and pop it in the van and drive. Like, that's so strange to me. But so all these people have to pretend like they care, and it's so weird that like they're passionate about it. So the past 2 days for me has just been explaining this to my friends and just hearing people like passionately pretend to give a shit about my ordeal. um Really fucking weird. Like, everybody says the same things when I told them what happened. They're like, well, like, where did you park? Like they're gonna crack the case. I admit, like, I'm probably never gonna find the thing. I even went and filed a police report today, and I have no thought in my mind that like this thing is gonna get found. But it's just so funny when you talk to people and they want to play detective. I have a theory I'm working on right now that everybody is just absolutely bored out of their minds, and but it's just hilarious to me for people to just be like, well, did you drive home? Like, yeah, I drove home. Like, I have to get back there. Like, I don't take 2 different routes to get to and from work. But we'll see how that turns out. I actually just got back from filling out a police report, and I don't know if you guys watch Cops or have ever dealt with the police at all, but they're very thorough, especially in the reports. The wording is very, very specific, for a reason. And I'm sitting in there and I'm talking about my stupid thing that got stolen that, we're never going to find. He knows it, the officer knows it, I know it. And I'm sitting in this room giving him the description, and he's filling out like a full page report about what I'm saying and like reading it back to me to make sure that we're in agreement before I sign it. And while he's doing it, I'm just sitting in this room quiet for the longest time. And I was thinking about saying, like, oh well, how long? Because he's a young officer. He's only about my age, and very clearly, fairly new. And while he was writing, I thought about asking him like, "So, hey man, how long does it take for you to get used to speaking and writing in that very descriptive way?" And then I never said anything because I was afraid that he would think I was gay. uh, that was my day. I'm a little bit worked up about this. Just think about that, like just the sheer balls to take like such a random item, and like it's not like they're gonna use it if it's somebody that I work with or something. It's not like anybody's gonna use it. But anyway, I made the complaint to Mr. Cheadle, and we'll see how that turns out. I think on the last one of these, I talked about how I went to the wrong dentist appointment. I went there like a week early, and luckily I didn't go inside, so I didn't have to be embarrassed. But since then, obviously that appointment occurred, and when I went there, I drove straight from work again. I got out at 2:30, and I went to the place, and the appointment was for 3, so I was there maybe like 10 minutes early. And at this particular office, they break for lunch just before they get back about 3 or so. So I'm standing out in the hallway with this other gentleman waiting for them to open the door. They have the sign that says, like we're out to lunch. We'll be back at 3. And when the woman came out, she said, "I'm just standing in this hallway. Like there's nothing anywhere around there except for like the stairwell." And when she opens up the door, she goes, "Oh, are you waiting to come in?" And I've been watching a lot of stand up lately. I've been trying to nurture my like that side of me a little bit. And pretty much whenever that happens, I just get meaner. Like I just say mean things with the intent of it being funny. It doesn't really work out that way all the time. So she's like, "Oh, are you waiting to come into the dentist's office?" And I was just, to this complete stranger who's being very nice, I was just like, "No, I just like standing in hallways." And then she did that thing that professionals do that have to deal with people where they just kind of like, "Oh, whoa," like, like get all wide eyed. Oh, excuse me. I'm already feeling kind of bad about that. But then I went in, they sat me down in the thing, and the woman is taking that pick to my mouth and all that stuff. The oral hygienist does like 90% of everything. And when I got done with that, the dentist comes in for that last like 5 minutes, like, "Hey, my name's on the door, so I'll come and say hi at the end." And dude comes in, and he always wants to talk about stuff that's going on in his life, as most successful people do. This guy's a dentist, he owns his own practice. So anything that happens to this guy in his mind is just absolutely phenomenal, spectacular, like worthy of conversation. So he starts going on about, he gets done, like looking in my mouth and going like, "Yes, the oral hygienist didn't see anything and neither do I." And he's going on about shopping at like fucking Stu Leonard's, and how he takes the whole family, and some kind of fucking hummus or something that the guy bought, like ridiculous shit that I just don't care about. And he never said like if he saw cancer in my mouth or anything. So in the middle of this guy going off about like, I don't know, some fucking kayaking or something that he did like 2 years ago, I just said like, "Hey, is everything okay with my face?" And I kind of made like a circular motion with my index finger on my face, and he just goes, "What?" Like, because I guess you're not allowed to interrupt this guy. So he goes like, "What? Like, I don't know about that beard, but everything inside of your mouth is okay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." The dude tagged me. I was rude, and he tagged me for that. Like, that's funny. And then he starts going on about, I guess I really got to him or something, because he brought up that when they took my blood pressure at the beginning of everything, when the hygienist took my blood pressure, that it was a little high. So he goes right from, "Yeah, your mouth is fine, but I don't know about that beard," to, "Oh, and yeah, your blood pressure was a little high. You should be worrying about things like that when you're 40, not now." And I was just like, my inner gangster was just like, "This motherfucker's accusing you of hypertension and shit. Like, get him, dog." And I almost went off in there, but luckily I'm a coward, so nothing happened. But I just thought that was funny that he could use a medical term to call me out like that. Uh, good guy, Doc over there. What else? Since I recorded one of these before, Halloween happened. I mentioned it on the Friends List podcast, which you should all listen to if you're not listening to this. We actually split up the YouTube, so videos like this will be posted on the Friends List network. And then things like the podcast are going on the Podomatic app as of right now. Before, the earlier episodes are on youtube.com/bdutchtv, but we switched and we've been posting them on the Podomatic app, and we're trying to get them going on iTunes and on Podcast Republic if you're on Android. So you should check those out there. But I talked about this a little bit already, but Halloween happened. And for that, I went as Clark Kent. My girlfriend was going to be Wonder Woman, which means that I automatically had to be, that classic Clark Kent with like the suit with like the shirt open with the, the Superman thing underneath. But I'm blonde, so I had to spray in this black stuff to make my hair look right. And the day after Halloween, we came back to my house, and I was taking a shower to watch the stuff out, and I was daydreaming, as I often do, and I was thinking about this thing that occurred to me like 2 weeks before that, which is actually worth mentioning. We went to this local bar, me and a couple of the other guys from the podcast, and I'm sitting outside smoking a cigar, and I'm talking to my friend Sean, just about bullshit, and all of a sudden I become aware that he is no longer paying attention to me. And before I could say, like, what's up, man? Like, what's going on? He said, I'm sorry I'm not listening to you, but this dude is hitting his girlfriend. And I was like, what? And I looked over my shoulder, and out in front of the building, this fucking slime bag, I don't know if that's a thing, but this guy is, like, got his girl up against a car, and he's, like, rabbit punching her in the face a couple times. And everybody starts yelling, like, whoa, like, what the fuck's going on? And the guy kind of, like, walks away, and I was like, that's the weirdest thing that's going to happen to me today. So I go back to telling my story, and then the dude was like pissed drunk. He went and got in his beat ass station wagon and like pulled back up in front of the place, climbed over the center console and got out the passenger seat of the car and ran in after this girl again and like goes in the door, like running in the door, and then a crowd of like 4 or 5 good Samaritans and the bodyguard or the fucking bouncer push this guy back out onto the sidewalk and start like all hitting him, but they're all doing like, if you're like fighting your little brother where you just kind of like extend the wrist at the elbow kind of a thing, and they're all just like hitting this guy a little bit. And so flash forward, I'm in the shower, and I go to wash this black shit out of my hair, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about like oh yeah, what would have been really cool is if Guy Ritchie style, I just kind of like got up and I walked over to him, or like Tarantino style, I was just like, hey man, apparently nobody ever taught you to hit a girl, so I'm gonna give you a little reminder. And I just took the cigar and like burned his ankle or like the top of the dude's hand or something. So I'm in the shower and I'm daydreaming about this, and I'm just like, yeah, that's badass, that's something that I would do. And I stuck my head in the shower and all of the black stuff, just like a huge clump of like black stuff just like lands in my feet. And my first thought was, oh my god, a ghost just appeared above me and it's puking ectoplasm onto my head. And my girlfriend said that from my room what she could hear was something along the lines of like, ah! For like a second when that happened. So no, I probably wouldn't have done something like that to this scumbag guy. It's been episode 3. Quick little thing on Palecast. I would like to say thank you to all of my Palestinians out there. Be sure, if you want, to follow me on Twitter at whitedudedown. You can friend me on the PSN. My name on there is also whitedudedown. And please, like, comment, subscribe, any of that kind of shit. And check out the Friends List podcast on the Podomatic app, as well as, we got all kinds of stuff floating around. We got Cut the Rap as our review show on the Friends List network. And I think my buddy Tybo just came out with a new Loot Crate video that you should all check out. And thank you very much, and hope to see you next time.